Today we are making cucumber kimchi. We are using 10 long cucumbers. Everything else is measured out by how much looks good to you. First, cut the cucumbers into about 2-inch sections. After you've cut the cucumbers into sections, we are going to split them into 4s. Don't cut all the way through. Be sure to leave about 1/2 inch at the end uncut. Next, you will need chives and onions. Be sure to thoroughly wash the chives and take off the dead leaves. Cut the chives at about the same length as the cucumbers, 2 inches. You can cut as many as you want. Next, we will slice the onions. You can cut up to 2 onions or as many as you want. After cutting up the veggies, let's move on to the next step. There are a few ways to do this next step. You can use sticky rice flour, regular flour, or boil and mash white rice. When adding water, don't worry about adding too much water because you can always boil it down. Try to make it as smooth as possible and break down the clumps. You want the flour water to be thick but runny. In another pot, you can prepare some salt water. The salt water mixture will be used to soak the cucumbers in to make them a little bit more malleable. After soaking the cucumbers for about 30 minutes in the salt water, rinse them off well and let them cool down. You want the cucumber to have a little flex in it. This will also help keep the cucumbers crisp longer. Now we're going to prepare the sauce. You will need some red peppers. You will also need a blender or food processor. Cut up about 4 or 5 peppers and blend them. If you want a slightly sweeter taste, you can add sliced apples. You can add about 1/2 of a large red apple. If you don't have apples, you can use 100% pure apple concentrate and blend this all together until it's nice and smooth. it's time to put all the ingredients together. In a large bowl, put in about a cup of red pepper flakes. Next, you will add about 4 tablespoons of fish sauce. We used 2 different kinds of fish sauce. You only need one kind. If you use one kind, you can put about 4 to 5 tablespoons. Next, you'll add about a tablespoon of minced ginger, 3 to 4 tablespoons of minced garlic, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of salted fermented shrimp. After that, you will add 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. If you don't have plum blossom juice, which is called meshir in Korean, this will do just fine. Next, we added about half a cup of white sugar, and added the flour water mixture to it. Last, we added 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. You don't want to add too much soy sauce as it will be too salty and you don't want it to look dark. The sauce should look red. Now for the taste test. It should taste slightly sweet and spicy and a little salty. You want it to have a slight salty taste but not too salty because remember, the cucumbers were sitting in the salt water. They will also be a little salty. Time to put it all together. First, you're going to add the onions and chives into the sauce, making sure everything is fully covered. Add a little at a time in case there isn't enough sauce to cover all the onions and chives. Once the onions and chives are all mixed in well, it's time to put them into the sliced cucumbers. All you need to do is slightly open the cucumber and put in small handfuls of the mixture into the middle of the cucumber, being careful not to break it open. Then gently press the cucumber closed and put it into a container. Don't worry about getting the sauce on the outside of the cucumber. The juices will form after sitting for a little while. After filling the cucumbers, if there is any of the onions and chives mixture left, you spread it over the top of the cucumbers. And that's it! Sorry I don't have a final product clip, but after you're done, you put it in the fridge. It can be eaten right away, or if you like yours a little more fermented, then you can eat it a little later. If you like it really fermented, you can leave it out overnight. If you tried this recipe, let me know how it turned out in the comments or upload it onto your Instagram and tag me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye.